Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. So, yeah, so I haven't actually started this, you know, towards the, end of a battle or anything. No, this is how it started. Here, you can see, I've got, well, we both Vanguard deployed in the same forest. Luckily, though, his cavalry obviously going to get denied a charge bonus, and they're facing the wrong way. So this is probably better for my skinks, although my skinks are not designed to be fighting Illyrian Reavers. So, bit of a funny one. Yeah, so let's go with the rest of the army. So obviously 3 skink skirmishers, the enemy here has 2 Illyrian Reavers, but we'll get to the rest of his in a bit. So, the rest of my army, so I've got Saurus Warriors with shields, 3 of them. I've got 3 units of skink cohort. I've also got some Kroq-Gars on either side, and they're led by Kroq-Gar, who's got, you know, the Hand of God or whatever it's called, and yeah, he's got everything basically. And then over here, I've doubled up on my wizards again, so I've got the 2 Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bowlers, and then I've got my Heavens and Beasts Priests. That rhymed. Huh. Wow, I'm a poet, and I didn't even realise that that rhymed. So, yeah, so I'll be advancing up to meet the enemy army at some point. So you can see he's got a front line of archers here. Obviously not front line, he's going to slip them back later, of course. You know, he's not going to charge in with these guys, that would be mad. But, you know, he's also got some Dragon Princes, very concerning. Dragon Princes, very tough. 2 units of those. So, big investment on his, you know, on his cavalry. So he's also got some Spearmen. So, nice and cheap, you know, good utility. You know, the anti-large will help against big dinosaurs, things like that. And he's also got 2 units of Swordmasters of Hoeth. So, these guys are going to cleave through infantry. These guys will do well against, you know, like Saurus Warriors, stuff like that. And the skinks, they'll just be able to wrap up in no time. So, yeah, pretty robust. He's got all the tools he needs. And he's also got Teclis on a horse, so he can run away from anything that I chase him with. Which you've got to be able to do with Teclis, because he's pretty squishy. He's a pretty squishy lord. So, now, I guess we should go over here and speed things up and see how this goes, right? So, yep. So, as you can see, start skirmishing here. So they're taking some damage, that's good. But he is moving back, and he will then go, you know what, I think I can take these guys. So, he will try and charge me in a minute. But he is taking a lot of damage while this is happening. And, so I was actually moving my army up, but then I decided to move more over here. And then I think I do actually very quickly peel off Kroq-Gar and the Kroq-Gars to head over here and move my army up here. Because if I can do that, then yeah, I can avoid this conflict for a while I wrap up these guys. You can see though my skinks are having a terrible time in melee with these guys, which is no fun for me. And now some of the Dragon Princes are coming in as well. So I sent my units over here to scout, see what was what. They threw some Fire Leech Bowlers on some things, which is nice. You know, helps out. So yeah, another Fire Leech Bowler lands there. But you can see he's aiming for my wizards there, really. It's fine. You know, I can take some damage. But here you can see my skinks getting wrapped up very quickly. You know, these Illyrian Reavers are pretty hurt, but these Dragon Princes are in now, and they're going to do serious damage. So I want to chase them down. I also send my flying units over here. I'm going to be able to get some Flock of Dooms on them, which is good. Does a bit of damage. They're getting chased really close to the edge here, which is really dangerous for me. Yeah, 2 units of Illyrian Reavers this. Yeah, Dragon Princes are following up. Oof. But, you know, you can see I am getting a few stuck, which is good. So, Kroq-Gars, not really built for fighting this cavalry, but, you know, I can pen them in, I can get them stuck on me, all the rest of it. So I get a Flock of Doom on all of them, that is really useful. So, get some damage on the Dragon Princes. I mean, really, Flock of Doom is best against, you know, infantry, but it'll do. So here, I'm trying to just run off with all these guys, avoid this fight for now. Because if I can wrap up this cavalry, he's going to lose a lot of utility. And actually, he kept the other unit of Dragon Princes hidden, which is interesting. So I didn't know he had those. Well, actually, I should have done. They're on the map. And I could see him over there, but I was a bit preoccupied. And actually, you can't see the bands through the trees, which I think is quite cool. That's a nice touch, you know, because to be able to see through the trees, it shouldn't be an easy task. So, another Flock of Doom. Unfortunately, I only hit the 1 unit, but I'd rather hit Dragon Prince than these guys, so... so yeah, one of the units finally going down. I've got my skink skirmishers running in this way to help. I've got another unit of skink skirmishers that can come back in here, and a final unit hiding in here. So I am getting some damage on these guys. If I brought the chameleon skinks, oh no, these guys do have poison. So okay, so I am poisoning these guys, that's good. I think the chameleon skinks are a little bit better. But yeah, they still poison, so that's good for chasing these guys down. So yeah, still doing some serious damage to these Illyrian Reavers with my, you know, Pterodon Riders. So that's really good. So here, he uses a Flock of Doom. How dare you? That's my thing. That's what I was doing. So now he's getting a lot of archer fire on my Kroq-Gars. They're pretty heavily armoured though, so I'm just gonna charge in. So yeah, rather interesting looking flame attack there, but he barely hit me because I charged forward. And yeah, he should have gone sideways. I think that might have been a misclick. Those wind spells can be a bit finicky, especially online. I noticed they tend to register in the wrong direction sometimes. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. It could just be my internet connection's a bit rubbish. But we'll have to wait and see, you know, until the jury's out. So here, some spearmen just chasing my really knackered skink skirmishers. I'm happy with that. They can do that. No worries. Annoyingly though, I've got 2 units of Kroq-Gars fighting this one blob. He's still got his swordmasters back here. They should be in the fight. His spearmen are going to get wiped out pretty quickly. So you can see he's trying to shoot me. Another flock of doom on so many units here. So that's really useful. I'm still skirmishing this cavalry. So yeah, he's got himself the dragon princes now, so that's a bit dangerous. But he's not committing them to a fight anywhere. So it's going to take some time for him to, you know, make use of these guys. So I actually dive on these archers to keep them wrapped up a bit, and then I just pull out. So I will be taking a lot of fire for no reason. Come on, guys, come on. So I will be trying to use the, you know, their stone dropping things. Oh, that was definitely a mistake leaving them there for that long. Oof. So do I drop, should drop bombs now? Yeah, so I drop bombs on these guys. So small damage to their archers. You can see my front line is wrapping everything up pretty well. You know, I've got some guys just chasing people for no particular reason. Some dragon princes just hiding in that forest. He needs to make use of those. He really does. And more dragon princes over here. So I'm going to get Kroq-Gar on these because I want to take them out. I'm happy for my flyers just to bother this whole, you know, back line for ages. Because they've got a lot of value wrapped up here. They're keeping all of their Swordmaster Poets to, you know, back them up. Oh, actually, no, they sent 1 unit out that I seem to just be walking away from. Oh, I've been chasing these Lyrian Reavers. Okay, so I double back, but, you know, I've got Kroq-Gars in here. The Swordmasters aren't going to do well against the Kroq-Gars. But he does have some cavalry coming in, so not bad, not bad. But you can see they're taking a lot of damage very quickly. So he's lost his martial prowess now. Yeah, and look, those Dragon Princes, they're not having a good time against these Kroq-Gars and Kroq-Gar. So a nice wind spell, completely just destroy that unit. So yeah, I'm just winding them up at the moment. There's not a lot any of his archers can do, and they really need to be concentrating on my front line. But yeah, and like, you know, that's injured, that skink priest bit, come back, I'll bring it back, it's not a problem. You know, I'm running out of winds of magic anyway, so that's fine, it's just 1 unit. But now I've actually got my skinks in this fight. So over there, yeah, skink priest is back, so that's fine. So no biggie. But you know, these dragon princes did pretty well to charge in. Now everyone's got it mental, and yeah, and now I just have to wait and see where they end up. Luckily though, he didn't pull out and around, he just tried to pull through. And with all the Kroq-Gars in here, these dragon princes are completely stuck. So these guys might have gone crazy, but they've got some great targets to go for right now. So this is not good for the dragon princes. Also, you know, Swordmaster Hoeth trying to join this fight. They're going to do well against the skinks. So yeah, I get Flock of Doom down here. Maybe a bit prematurely, because yeah, I couldn't get the Swordmaster Hoeth in that arc. So that's a shame. So you can see this lot have been wiped out. But this is the whole strength of his army left, basically. So over here, you know, I'm still bothering his archers. They're almost all gone. Teclis has been busy trying to deal with this for ages. The skinks are quite happy fighting everything in here, and now they can come back in. So these Swordmasters are back, but again, I've got Kroq-Gars on them. That's a great matchup for me. And these guys are almost run out of ammo. I'm happy for them just to get in there and be a nuisance. And yeah, so what's up with his his Dragon Princes? They're still going, but and he does have another unit here. So he's still got some strength, and he's still got the Swordmasters. But the Swordmasters against Kroq-Gar is probably not great cool. So here I'm now getting a load of units back in. I've got, you know, my two skink priests. You see one of them, yeah, the beasts one. He's got a load of health back because, you know, I've got cold-blooded that I can use on these guys quite happily because, you know, it's very easy to have them in a place where they're not taking any damage. They don't need that melee defense or anything. Is melee defense gets lower than cold-blooded, isn't it? I think it is. I forget. So I hit him with the Hand of God, or whatever it's called. And, yeah, he's almost out. Teclis having a very bad day. So he's getting chased off. And these Dragon Princes are now, you know, fighting Kroq-Gars and Saurus Warriors. That's a weird thing with Dragon Princes. They just seem good. They're just good. They've just got good baseline stats. They don't have, like, anti-large or anti-infantry. They're just good. So, you know, they can fight anything, really. But they're a bit outnumbered here. There's a lot of armor and a lot of all sorts in there fighting. So, yeah, that's going to be quite tough, because I'm not sure Dragon Princes actually have ton of armor piercing, do they? No, so they got 44 weapon strength, but less than half of it is armor piercing, so yeah, it's a bit weird. Anyway, so Kroq-Gar should be fine over there. And certainly slow them down, and you know, the Saurus warriors are actually pretty damn sturdy. They've got huge weapon strength. Again, less than half of it is armor piercing, but it's still pretty high, so they can do a lot of damage. So yeah, things are going quite well. So at the moment, we're just basically wrapping everything up. Teclis somehow has still evaded capture. He's used the potion of Sharoi? I'm not sure. Yeah, I have no idea how that would be pronounced. But yeah, so anyway, he's used that, so he's got some health back. But Kroq-Gar's right there. Yeah, he didn't like that. He really didn't like getting headbutted by a T-Rex. I don't know anyone who would, honestly. It just doesn't sound like, you know, a good way to spend your evening. So yeah, that went pretty smoothly, to be honest. So you know, I had answers to everything he brought, but then he had answers to everything I brought, really. He just didn't, you know, he wasn't able to utilize them. Basically, I kept, you know, his back line bogged down with pterodons for ages. He just couldn't deal with them because, you know, every time his archers would move to shoot, I'd just go the other side of them, so they'd have to turn around again. And yeah, there's just so many different units that, you know, he was having to deal with. I mean, you know, 4 flying units. That makes it very difficult to, you know, pick your targets. And when they're constantly throwing in fire leech bowlers, and occasionally if they see one unit that's slightly away from the others, you know, dive on them and then get back in the sky. It's a real nightmare situation for him. So really difficult to deal with that, especially as the high elves. As the dark elves, I don't think it's so bad, because if they do get a volley off, it does way more damage. So they can usually fell a couple of pterodons, you know, with a volley, and then, you know, it's going to be easier, isn't it? But my pterodons, they basically left, you know, that one lost a few models, but this one, it's on full model count. He didn't lose a single one. So it's pretty crazy, you know. These guys are just so effective. And yeah, those fire leech bowler attacks constantly, like, it lowers morale, does some damage, they're really good. And you can see here, Skink Priest, you know, 69 kills. He was the one with the wind spells. They're the ones that always get the kills. But yeah, Flock of Doom just does good damage, you know, across the board. Does a lot of, like, HP damage. So, you know, would have put the health pools down and made it easier for everything else to get the kills with every hit, you know. So, really useful. See, Saurus Warriors did a lot of damage. Some of my Skink cohorts did great. I don't know how he got 63 kills. That's fantastic. That one, not so much. I think they were probably fighting Swordmasters or something. That's not ideal. But yeah, Skink Skirmishers, they did their job as well. You know, they came back into the fight after all that cavalry. You know, the cavalry didn't wipe them out. And they lost a lot of cav doing that. I think these Skink Skirmishers are 500 quid. And I think Illyrian Reavers are 600, I think. I think it's 600 gold for them. And the Dragon Princes are way more than that. So the fact I managed to catch a few of them, do some damage to them in that initial engagement, and all I was losing was some Skink Skirmishers, he really overcommitted to try and deal with those Skirmishers. It just left me great options to do serious damage to some expensive units, because I was able to just pull my army back while his front line advanced, you know? So that was a real mistake, I think. Those Skirmishers were not that valuable. What he could have done is probably got the Illyrian Reavers to just charge them straight away, and then, you know, once I started trying to get out of that engagement, just run them away. Just get them out of the forest and, you know, get them back to his lines. And come back and forth, you know. He could have used them to hammer an anvil, but instead they got really just... they got ruined before he could utilise them. And like the Dragon Princes, as you can see, did great. These guys did really well. If he didn't let them get damaged early on, you know, he could have done some serious work with them. So that's a real pity. You know, if you used them to bolster his front line, you know, get some charges in the rear and things while that front line engagement was going, he would have seen real benefit from them. Because, yeah, they're good fighters. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Swordmaster Hoeth as well, you know, it was a shame he used them to defend his archers. He should have kept his spearmen back to defend the archers, but I think he was really worried about the Kroq-Gars and, you know, big units, so he sent it to the spearmen. But no, he should have sent in the Swordmasters into the front line. Because that would have just helped a lot more. He could have just had a unit of spearmen back to just sort of run back and forth, try and protect the archers. And he probably should have just had the archers shooting something, you know, on the ground for most of it, I think. That way they could have just fired consistently. And if they did get charged, you know, have them hold their ground and just get the spearmen on top of them. Might have been tough, but it was tough anyway, and they didn't get a lot of use out of them. And it just wasted the Swordmasters during that initial frontline engagement. So yeah, few issues. But it's a fun match nonetheless, and I did love, you know, the idea of having some Vanguard cavalry, some other cavalry, Because this build, I really like it. It seems to have the answer to everything. I just think it was mismanaged in this case. So, yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.